Hello everyone, welcome to episode 15. It's a big round number. I like big round numbers. And also we're about halfway into the series, so this is perfect. This is the third episode of the Cavern Saga. The first episode we fell in a hole in the hallway. Second episode we made some bats, some particle effects for fog, and we placed Hollis as a new party member. We placed Rem's mom for later. It's gonna be hilarious. But now in today's episode we will do two main things before we can get out of the cave. It's going to be we're gonna modify slightly our NPCPatrol script just so it adds in the inspector a field to drag and drop audio sounds. So we will put crow audio sound on the crow so you will hear them. It's gonna be fantastic. And once I will have show you how to simply I will give the code on the screen, or you can go on Discord to take it, or you can just not put sound on your crows. But who doesn't want sound on their crow? Well, or there are a lot of other ways to do this in IT, in coding or whatever, Unity. There's always like 100 ways to do something. Maybe 5 of them are big brain and the other 95 work, but they're dumb. But there's always 100 ways to do things. So I'm gonna show you always only 1 or 2, and whatever. So I made a list of what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna put the audio, like I said. We're gonna test the boss mechanic. We're gonna place a few chests here and there, maybe an item reward or something, some dialogues, and then we're gonna be able to beat Ram's mom and get out of the cave. So in the next episode we got be able to really move out of the cave and maybe do a world map or event, or we're gonna be able to we're making progress, guys. Where I'm getting at, we're making great progress. So today is the last cavern episode. I hope you enjoy, and you enjoy Rem and Hollis giving a beating to Rem's mother. That's funny. So we'll see you guys. Enjoy the episode. So we will begin with getting a sound for a crow. So we just go on Google and you get a free crow sound unless you really want to voice act one. So I just go on Pixabay crow sound effect because I had my share of voice acting last episode. So write the sound here. It's a fantastic sound. There's no problem with that sound. It's fine. So I'm gonna pick that sound and I'm gonna use it. And this sound you can get it, just download it. Then you click not there but on the download thingy, and we won't put it straight away into Unity though. The thing is, this sound will be a looping sound, so I'm gonna put it on the flying crows and the sound will repeat. But the sound as it is right now is like a non-stop crow action, and we don't want that. We'll go nuts very fast. So I just want to add like empty silence into the audio file that we just downloaded, just because I know in advance from experience that it will be annoying if the crow is yapping all the time. So right now I just don't say a word and I press record for like 4 seconds, because that's the sound, the length of the sound of the crow. You can make it a bit longer if you want, but to me 4 seconds of silence is good enough. Once you recorded that, you do export audio. Name the file. I just name it silence total. Then you're gonna want to put it somewhere where you're gonna remember where it is. And even if it's silence, just click stereo, because the crow sound is stereo. So I don't know if it actually is gonna mess anything. So just to be on the safe side, we export some silent stereo sound clip. After that we can take it off or just move it, whatever. Then you can drag and drop the actual sound from Pixabay. So you see by the way, we're on Audacity. We downloaded this free program in the last episode. That's why I didn't mention it again in English. So now that we put the crow sound there, I'm just explaining basically we don't want this to yap all the time. So the silence that we just made, I'm gonna put it right there. There are other ways to do this. There's always 100 things to do everything. So I just showed you this way. It's very simple. You just record the emptiness, then you can put it next to it. Then from that point on, instead of having a 4-second very noisy crow sound, we will have only the first few seconds of sound, then we'll have empty noise, and by that time either you're in battle or the crow is moved away. So this way it's gonna work better. Just trust me, it's how I did it on the crow. It's actually the same sound bite that I use on the crow in Feline Realms, the exact same free sound asset. So I rename it, then I noticed no, this is a dot wave, not MP3. So then the final sound is the 8-second sound with the first 4 seconds of crow sound is ready. So now we're gonna be able to put it into the sound folder. But once we put it in the sound folder, there are multiple ways once again to put the sound on the crow, But me, since I'm thinking ahead, I'm thinking big picture. So I'm thinking all our enemies that are moving, they all use the NPCPatrol script. And basically everything that moves should have a sound. Either if it's a human walking, you want footstep sounds. If it's a bird, you want some flapping going on, maybe some beak action. So basically, the very smartest thing to do is just to add some code to our already existing NPCPatrol script. It will simply add a slot in the inspector for us to drag a sound in it and to drag a distance value. So either you screenshot the screen and you just copy this, or if you're a big brain, you can just make a ChatGPT prompt. There is the prompt in episode 8 in the description. You can copy that and just add please also add a slot so I can put a sound with proximity. Or the second big brain way is go on my Discord. In the YouTube channel there, I put a Word doc file. In it is just the code copy pasted. So you can just open that Word file, copy paste the code, and create your own NPCPatrol with the added sound. So here you see what the modification I did does. Actually no, this is a bird that's not modified yet. So I say the bird that has the NPCPatrol 2 script. So it's just a moving script, it's not having any sound. So now instead of having 71 lines of code, I'm gonna paste the new code that's on my Discord, and now it's gonna be 100 line of code. But don't forget, you need to modify the name of the class, because you cannot have multiple classes with the same name. So since this script was named NPC2 Patrol 2, I named the class inside of it Patrol 2 as well. So now you see the two new things that come is the crow sound, and the sound distance. So I put distance 8. I think this feels like it's proper. Just put 8 and you can modify it if you want, and then we can drag and drop the crow sound there. So from here on, we did not even need to add it in the audio manager or anything like that, because this script is already very potent, and now we simply added this little section that will add a sound. So from here on, you can copy paste the code into the other NPCPatrol and do like I do now, just drag and drop the sound as well. And if you want, from here you can modify the script of like anti-hero and everything that moves basically to add sound to it. I'm not gonna do it because this is something like for later when we make everything pretty. For now, we're working on the mechanical side of things. We're always working on mechanics, and then we will work on putting it all together in a way that makes sense story-wise and that's engaging. Because it's hard to be engaging when you make mechanics, today let's copy paste scripts and let's make monsters move from left to right. I understand this is not the most engaging stuff, but when you create a scene, you have to create those things, so there is no getting around it. So right now, now that we're done updating the crows, putting sounds, I realized that Hollis is probably level 1. He has no gear at all. So let's put 2 more chests in this scene, just so we have a weapon and an armor as well. But yeah, we did not yet make an episode where we will create like a massive amount of weapon and armor, and then we will reskin them. I found a lot of free asset packs with icons for armor and weapons. So maybe not next episode, but one of the next episodes we will do a reskinning episode, and from here on we will have a lot of choice when we create new items. But right now, just because this is the third part, the third episode that we're stuck in a cave, we need to get out of here. So let's just reuse already existing items. So we put in the chest the plus 15 sword and the plus whatever shield. So Hollis will have the same items than Rem if you clear that cave. So now I created the 2 chests. Don't forget, you need to go into the main object loader, game manager, and you need to add the 2 chests there. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do right now. Yes. So I just named them 004 and 005. 004, 005 sounds so much more cool. Let's put some James Bondish vocabulary. So but now there is very little space to move on this thing because we did not optimize graphic wise. So if you guys copied the scene on your side, you probably noticed like the shadow look like crap when I walk on the bridge and stuff like that. Like it's going below the wood. Not sure how to say that in English, but it's just a slight mismatch. But remember, this is the sprite of the demo. It has nothing to do with the tile sheet. We will replace the sprite of the demo, but at the very end, because I want to keep the how do we say that, the branding, you know, because this is a 2D RPG kit guide. So I want there to be the 2D RPG kit mascot, if you will, on my tutorial, so that people, when they see the thumbnail, they say, oh, that's the kit that I bought last year, whatever. No, there's a guide, let's check it out, you know. So I don't want to make guides with something not representative of the tool that we are learning. So now I'm showing you how to change the chest. We can open them from the side. So when you select the chest, you go into the edit collider, and you're just gonna drag to the left or to the right, because by default you can only open them if you stand in front of them. So now I just move the collider, and you can see that while the bridge is not optimized, the chest works from the side. You can now open the chest like this. So in a perfect world, we will move the chest a few millimeters down so it looks better, and so we don't have a problem, don't have to move on the edge to open it. Otherwise the chest work this way. This is now we have chest for Hollis. We'll be very happy. So now my French counterpart is explaining what I actually explained while he was doing the chest. Sorry for the slight desync. So yeah, there will be 2 episodes that will be axed on reskinning. There will be an episode where we will create a lot of items, armor and weapons and stuff like that, and we will use the free assets to reskin it all, so that we have a bigger pool of stuff to use. And the other skinning episode will be to skin the UI, because the UI is something that most people, I assume, have no idea how it works. So I will do a demonstration, like let's reskin the UI, but the UI one will be one of the latest episodes, because this is something that you do at the very, very, very end, the UI stuff. You always start with the mechanics. Well, I don't want to make a parenthesis in English because I did not say that in the French version. I don't want them to miss out. But I'm just going to say a little bit the pillars of game creation, if you will. Just go on Timothy Kane's YouTube channel. He's the guy that made the Fallout, the original Fallout video games. Because basically I'm just gonna say what he said in a diluted manner. So just go to his channel and watch the videos where he actually speaks about the game dev. It's very insightful. So whatever. So now I put the NPC in the cave. The NPC will just be there so that if Rem goes in front of it, you will talk and it will say like, the cave, it's caved in, you can't go there. So I just put an NPC, I made them invisible, which is body and his head. Then I placed him properly so that you can talk to him. But now we're gonna create him a dialogue. So create dialogue, gonna name it like cave in. This is a simple way to remember it. So I need to select the NPC, and we're gonna give him this wonderful new dialogue. But we don't have a portrait for the cave-in cave. So we're gonna have to create a portrait. So right now my French counterpart is doing a very sloppy job at taking a screenshot. At this point I thought the episode was like over an hour, but no, it's not actually bad at all. I could have taken time to take a better screenshot. So you guys, I suggest that you take a much better screenshot than this to represent the door. You should include you really should include more of the door, because right now this does not even look like a door, you know. The screenshot was really bad, but it's not the point. The point is that you see how to make a portrait yourself, but this was already covered twice in previous episodes. It's why I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna bother taking a proper screenshot. You know, you guys know how to do this, but for the sake of this scene that I'm making, this little interaction, I just did it anyway, like this. So once you do the portrait in paint, I'm gonna drag it here. It's not very important, such a small thing, but we're still gonna do it because we like to do stuff the good way and to not take bad habit of skipping configuration of tiles. All tiles are important. So now we can put a portrait, but yeah, you need to give a slot first. Now that there is a slot, we drag the portrait. Just gonna put 3 lines because I basically just want to say you can't go there. So I just my English is not that good, so I just figured, is it like caved in exit? So you guys tell me in the comments, is it this way that we call a cave entrance that you cannot go in? So then I type in French, but I just say the path is blocked. It's just what I typed in, word for word. The path is blocked. So then we're gonna test to see does this work. But don't forget that the crow, if you touch the crow, it starts a battle. So now you see it all works. It says the path is blocked, but the portrait is so badly taken. So now I'm saying like you should include the door and stuff. But now the crow, they just started a fight with us because in the script game manager we did not put if dialogue active disable collider. We let this. But so if you guys want to not have battle while you have a dialogue, you can add the line in the code, but don't do that. Speedrunners will abuse this. They will skip bosses and fights because they will hold the dialogue open. I know them. They are not I'm joking, but seriously what I said is decent. So now I'm showing you the result of the cave, and I'm like, you know what, we will make this look better by putting some decoration, some rocks and some stuff, but ultimately we will not waste more episodes on the cave. Only at the very end or before that I will do some kind of montage, like look, for sure there will be a montage episode that says like, look, everything we done from where we went, and and then there will be my son plays the game that we made and he will play it. That's going to be another episode, and then in this version you will see more details, and because then the product will be like retouched, like better. So now I'm adding some decorative objects while I'm on the subject. So I'm gonna take these big rocks, I put them on layer because it would look like it comes from the bottom of the pit, and it's for ground layer, so it's not causing any problems at this place. So now it's if you remove the red contour, you see the effect is very good when you zoom. This really looks. But now I notice, you know what, we had put 2 particle system, but we only needed 1 for the water stream. I duplicated 1 to show you guys, but in this scene we actually don't want to. There's only 1 water stream, so I deleted the second particle. We're just gonna keep this one. So now I'm gonna put a couple of rocks on the map. So I'm gonna paint them like a solid layer on the bottom, foreground on the top. So this is basic stuff. I did not intend to paint this scene, but at the same time we did not use the entirety of the palette. So I was like, you know what? Our little animated gems are already not that great. We should upscale them a little bit and fix their collider. And the smallest one, we should remove the collider at all. But at this point, it's like, you know what? 3 episodes in a cave is too much. We need to get out of here. So let's just use what there is currently in the palette and put some rocks there. And then it will be good enough. So we can move on to the boss and test the 4.3 patch silence changes. And yeah. So my guy is still painting for... He's still gonna paint for like 2 minutes. So yeah. I should have brought a banjo or something to entertain you guys while he paints. Nah, honestly, I'm gonna talk about something then. If you notice now, our particle system is doing particles and it's looking nice, but sometimes when I create a scene, sometimes the foreground layer is not affected by the particle emitter. Sometimes you see what's in foreground and just peaks, and it creates like an effect, you know, like the peak Mount Everest or whatever. Maybe that's too high for the example. There's not that much air that high, but you know, a peak of a mountain where it goes through the clouds and you see like so it does that effect, and but you can force that effect either by the layering of the object that you put, or on the particle emitter itself. You can change the layer of the particle effects, and you can do it in a way that let's say that you want the fog not to be over the roof of the houses, because you want the fog to be like very low atmosphere, like the floor of a grave. You want the fog just to be on the floor. Then you would adjust the layer so that it does not go over the foreground and stuff. So I'm just telling you guys this as a nice trick. I did not tell it in the French episode, so I'm sorry, French people, but I need to find something to say while he's painting. So now I'm putting some grass on the ground. So right there again, I'm saying I put this on the ground layer, of course. I'm doing some jokes like there's not, even in French, I'm like, there's not much I can say here, guys. I'm like, you man clicks grass, you man puts grass on ground, you man satisfied with amount of grass. So you guys put the grass and the whatever to your liking. This is not very important for me, as I'm only teaching you, and you're supposed to make your own scene and make it to your taste. But it does look nice, the scene, aside from the shadows that don't really match. And then I'm gonna look for a ground deco. I assume this could be like a floor impact, you know, because Rem, when he falls down the hole, he falls right there. So this, yeah, let's use this for like a ground impact. This is nice idea. Just gonna have to move the player start and the teleport to from whatever to be right in the middle to create a better effect when we spawn in the scene. We could also we have a sound when we fall, pew! We could add a sound when we zone in also, that would be like or a thud, or like oh, the Roblox that sound something. So whatever. So right now I'm just putting it all pretty in the middle, because this way when we zone, you know, the camera is a certain size, so it's really gonna be like, we're really gonna be like right in the middle, really gonna look like we fell, and that's like the sand and stuff that created a crater. So of course right now we did not put dialogue into the NPC aside from like line 1, line 2. So we're falling. Hollis is not saying like, oh, you fell in a hole, what's up? But like I said, the story, the all the thing was gonna be in the putting it all together part. So in this episode we work on the mechanics, and then in another episode when we will showcase all the scene and all the demo, because there are not that many scenes in our game, so it's gonna be like a 20 minutes playthrough or something of our game. So we're gonna be able to showcase all that we did, and it's gonna be a nice episode. I'm not pushing those episodes because they're heavy on theory, and they're just like for people that actually bought the kit and they have questions on how it works, and they want to see how another person that bought the kit is doing things, because maybe he has a few more months of usage in advance. So but when we have when we'll be able to make a demo, it's going to be a nice video that I'll be able to promote more, because look everyone, this is the end product of the series. If you do the series, you will have something like that, and then I'll be able to move on and hope that through that showcase video we'll get more attention. So now I'm reslicing a new iteration of the decoration palette. The reason I do that for is because I want to put a big rock that will prevent us from going to fight the mother first. So I downloaded a new tile sheet, then I dragged it in a folder not to mix it with the other ones, and I do tell you guys, do not put the new tile sheet that is different size with the other, okay? And you just follow visually what I did to the tile sheet. It's 32, remove the filter, and then you do automatic slice. So now we have very big rocks. The reason why I do this, like I said, is because we will create this as an object. So right now this is an object with a sprite renderer. We put it on the player layer, but then we need to put a box collider 2D. And it's the box slider 2D that will prevent the player from going to the top right of the screen. So he will not be able to go talk or fight or do anything near Ram's mom. So now, oh yeah, we put it on player -1 on the layering, just to avoid the rock from overlapping on the just like it did the door in the previous episode. So now, just to be sure that the player will never be able to go there unless he finds some sort of an exploit. Like, so you can, if let's say the crow did not proc a battle, you could abuse his collider to push you or something, but it procs a battle, so it's not gonna happen. But whatever, speedrunners, they always find tricks to break the games. So now I'm just looking the ground layer, and you're like, you know what, the solid layer, this is enough. Nobody is ever going to be able to walk there. So now this is just a sprite with a collider. But we want this to disappear basically when Hollis joins, because right now, as a placeholder, we gave him a magic truffle. But let's say we reskin that truffle into a pickaxe or into a dynamite. So when he joins, you'll be able to go through. So to make that happen, we simply make it a child. So when you give him the truffle and he joins the team, his sprite gets destroyed, and by the same time, at the same moment, his child, which is the rock blocking the way, will disappear. So now the player will not be able to go fight mother alone. If you want to get out of the cave, you are forced to take Hollis with you. You cannot leave him there all alone with crows. He's so scared, poor guy. We'll need to put him somewhere in the cave, like shaking. Perhaps we need to put some monsters around him so we save him. This is all stuff that I'll do when we do like I said, putting it all together. For now, we want the mechanics to work, so this is all good. So now my French counterpart is saying, like, you know what, we could just say that this magic truffle is actually an explosive mushroom, and this is why it's gonna blow the rock. But then we would need to put an explosion sound. That is easy. We already covered making sounds. We did one in this episode even. But the explosion effect, we did not cover that yet. So we will cover changing the skill graphical effects, because the skills that come with the kit are very simple, because it's placeholder. You're supposed to put your own skills. So I understand why our job is not like, I'm gonna spend an entire week making that flame attack animation, because at the end of the day, he's selling a tool that you're supposed to replace with your own sprite, But whatever. that being said, I will show you how to replace the skills, and once we have a replaced fireball skill, then we will be able to put the fireball explosion skill on the rock, and then it will be wonderful. But until then, let's just roleplay that this mushroom is an explosive mushroom. It's not important. So now we're gonna test that the rock will disappear, so that the logic works. So we see the rock works. That's part number one. You see the crow flies over it. That's because I put him on foreground. If you put him on player layer, or he's gonna fly under. So now I try to place the camera so we can see the rock disappear when I speak to him and he joins. Bam! As you see, when he joins the team, he used the mushroom to explode the door. So now you see we can access the battle with Mom, but right now Mom is not very scary, is she? She's barely taller than him, if even that. If you look the size of the head, she's clearly very feeble-boned. So yeah, no, Rem just has very big hair. He has glorious hair. He's like Artyom. Artyom has glorious hair. So now we are gonna modify the boss. We're gonna start to modify her, not because there's so much thing we can do to her, but the whole point is to test the new silent skill for now. Because like I said up front, we need to test the new silent skill. This is something I wanted for a very long time. So we're gonna modify not her sprite, but her enemy prefab. So in the scale, I'm just gonna put ×2. Oops, ×2. So now she's gonna be very big. If it was yeah, no, ×2. Don't make her. You can do what you want. You can put her very, very weird body shape, like 10x large but 1x high. She look like Toad, but no, seriously. I just put him ×2, so this way it's obvious that she's like your mother. She's twice her size, you know, as she should be. I don't know how old Rem is anyway, but let's assume that she's twice his size. So then I don't touch her HP because I do give her a lot of armor class and stuff. So I just give her a lot of agility because I want her to slap you first. Then I give her some decent strength because we do have a shield. But I give her slightly less defense because I want her to be beatable. Because I don't want my kid, when he's gonna test the game, to have to grind to gain levels. And you know, I want him to, just with the gear that he has and with using his toolkit, you know, like a silence and using heal, he's gonna be able to beat the boss. Also, I'm going over a type, and I'm like, you know what? So far in the game, we only have burn magic. I mean, Hollis is gonna have freeze, but we'll replace it with silence. So we'll just make her a normal type. Otherwise, our only magic is gonna be like a low damage multiplier, since it's her own type. So I just put her on normal. Oh, and by the way, never select none or all for a monster. Artyom Arctantrian, he covered this in one of his guides, but you know, people a lot of the time, they don't really look all the guides. So I'm telling you guys, in case you missed it, never put an enemy on none or all in the types. It's one of his guides. He says it. I cannot recall. Maybe you can type in the commentary which guide it is. So now I'm just finishing to fill her stats, you know. Normally I would have given her skills, and when I give skills, I like to give comedic names. So like in Feline Realms, I got a baseball player enemy. So one of his attacks is like home run, and I put a home run sound. Other attacks is like a punt or a strike, and I put sounds appropriate for them and names. So when he attacks, it says like baseball player did a home run. That's like his biggest damage attack. So we could give her like Rem's mom slaps you. It would be funny, but it would make the episode so much longer. So we'll do stuff like that much later in the reskinning episode. When we reskin the appearance, we'll be like, yeah, let's reskin the name too. And at the same time, we'll reskin the magical skill effect, you know, like when we create the new fireball and stuff. I'll have to find the free assets, because in Feline Realm I use paid assets for magic animation, but there are a lot of free assets for that. So I will do my research and find free assets for you guys, and I will use the same assets in the guide. So now I'm going over the new thing in our inspector since the 4.3 patch. If you guys follow the episode 12 where I show you how to get patch the guide to get the new files. If you don't have Unity 30F1, you will not even have the files. So she has a silence duration slot. At this point in time, my French counterpart does not realize that this is for when she attacks. So when if she had the silence skill, which she does not currently, her silence skill would last one turn, and this is where you would modify where how many turns you want there to be. But us, the player, our silence skill, we chose the duration here since the 4.3 update. So keep that in mind, guys. Also keep in mind that you can create your own duplicate skills. So you can create silence 1, silence 2, silence 3 and pre-configure them with durations. And you can do the same for the boss. But if you want, he was nice enough that he put in place a system where you can just put your duration on the enemy itself and say, this enemy, I want his silence skill to last that amount of time. So you don't have to put advanced levels of skills. You don't have it all makes sense. It's coherent. So now I'm showing you what they mean by which party member this and that. Actually no, sorry, I should have paid attention to the screen. I was talking. So I know what I did. What I did is I opened the game manager, then I click on party member 1, which is Hollis. I replace his freeze skill with the silent skill, because right now I'm testing the patch. This is the first time for real that I'm testing the skill. So what I'm doing, first I noticed, like, why is Flame attacking everyone? I thought that Burn is the one that attacking everyone. Maybe I'm the one with a bad memory, but if I am right, just remove the attack all. But whatever. So right now I want to cast silence, and I just did. So now I'm gonna count turns. I set mine at 3 turns, so now I'm just gonna do nonsense for 3 turns, because I want to see if the silence will go off. So I'm testing, because I test everything before integrating in my own game, and I have to see how it works, you know. So right there, while I'm teaching you guys, I'm learning at the same time. So I will be able, when I'm done with this series, to integrate all the new changes in Feline Realms. I'll probably document it or whatever. We'll see, because one project at a time. This series, I don't know if you guys know, some of you probably do, but making a 1-hour episode like this takes maybe 2 hours in French, but then I need to listen to it again to put timestamps, so we're up to 4 hours, and then I need to do it again in English. So right there you jump to maybe 6 or 7 hours. So basically I work full-time 8 hours a day just to make these guides. This is very time-consuming, guys. Very time-consuming. So it's why I'm like, oh man, I got so much things to teach you guys, but there has to be a start point and an end point. So one project at a time. I cannot work 8 hours a day for free to give you guys tutorial and at the same time work 8 hours on my own game. There's not enough time in a day. So yeah. So sorry about that. All that to say that bear with me as I pump videos as fast as I can. I cannot go faster. If I go faster, the quality will drop, and I think that the quality is already not that amazing. I did invest in a microphone and everything, and I do put in the effort, but still there is work to be done, thumbnail wise and stuff like that. So the next series, the Megaman series, I will try to up the production value with what I learned in this one. So back to our business. We see now that the upscaled Rem's mom, I casted silence on her just because I was curious, like, is the silence one on her field affecting the duration, or is it going to be the duration of Rem's skill? And what I see very quick is that, okay, the silence skill duration 1 on the boss and her inspector by default is not at all affecting the player's thing. So this is a different thing. So right now what we're testing is the offensive size of the silence skill. We did not test like the cleansing and detox properties. We will test that in another episode, like I said, because we will, time flies so fast. We're 40 minutes deep, 3 episodes deep into the same cave. That's why I'm like, you know what, guys, the cave is like 95% done. We will move on by putting a teleport behind Mother, and we will give her skills and stuff, but for now we've made all the mechanical side of the cave for now, except the event manager. But the event manager is something that I do in the very end, but that's how you tie everything together with the multi-quest system and the event manager together. I will show you a way to tie our demo together, and from there on you can expand, because that's the whole point of a demo, is for you to expand on it. The kit already comes with a demo. It's just that my intent is to make a bridge, so that you can come from I have no clue what Unity is to, oh my god, I followed your guide, I actually have a demo, I understand how this kit works. Because if you follow just a Unity guide, you're not learning a kit, so you learn very little percentage of what there is, and while the series you learn like most of what there is about the kit, and so you learn a tool, so you end up with a product. It's what is great. So now my French counterpart is basically saying like, yeah, so we will put the story-wise stuff together, like you fall and either he helps you get up or you help him get out of a situation, and then blah blah blah, get the stuff in the cave, maybe put on one more quest, destroy the rock with the Fire Nation or whatever, and then we go beat mom and we go out, or whatever, what we'll decide. I have some ideas to make this a psychological thriller, where at the end of our game we will wake up in a Rem's bed and it's going to be the normal demo, like this was all the nightmare. I think this is fantastic idea, because it's like I made a prequel to the demo. The demo is the game, and you guys need to make the sequel, which is your own game, which is from there on. So hi everyone, thank you very much for staying until the end of the video. I like to take this time to ask you to please go on Steam and wishlist my game. Also, you can go on Twitch to see me doing some live development occasionally. If you're a super chat or super chatted, you can do additional support on Patreon. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. Those are really what I'm looking after, because I need to reach 500 subscribers to even be able to get some sort of income from YouTube. Until then, I'm doing this all for free. So thank you for subscribing very much.